Hi, I'm Lawrence Bergstrom, registered osteopath, former NHS osteopath of over 10 years, and an advanced trained non-surgical spinal disc specialist. So, top 10 ways to injure your back. Let's go. So, number one, twisting in the shower. An absolute classic. We see this all the time. Patients come to us and you say, can you think of anything that you might have done that could have brought your back pain on? And they'll say, all I was doing was twisting in the shower, I dropped the soap, or I was drying my leg and my back went. Okay, so that's a common one. So what's a remedy for this? Before you get in the shower, just do a few stretches, just gently mobilize your spine a little bit, just a few hip circles, maybe a few side stretches. Gently pull one knee up towards your chest if you can, and then the other one. That's quite useful. So what happens when we twist in the shower is, I'm just going to grab a little model here, a little bit of compression on the spinal disc. It's a piece of gristle, it has a nerve supply and a blood supply, gets pinched between two hard bones, it gets stretched, and sometimes it even gets torn. Okay, so mindfulness, very important, just being aware. So if we drop the soap, don't just kind of, but actually move around so you're sort of really facing it rather than twisting through your spine. So that's a classic. Number two, pulling your socks on. I mean, how ridiculous is that? We're just pulling our sock on and our back goes, something as simple as that. Why? Often we spend too long sitting down, our hip muscles, what we call our hip flexors, they get stiff, our backs get stiff. And to be honest, how often in the average day do you lift your knee up towards your chest? You probably don't. Only taking your socks off and putting them on. Simple remedy for this, get more mobile in your hips. So a couple of times a day, just stand there, do a few standing marches just to bring your knees up towards your chest, just to remind the muscles that they can do that. That's quite useful, okay? And don't put your socks on very first thing in the morning. Don't fall out of bed straight into your socks. Get up, move around a little bit, and then, as I say, before you actually physically put the sock on, just stand there and mimic the movement a little bit, gently. Don't go straight into it, but just gradually bring your knees up towards your chest. So it's like you're marching on the spot just for a few seconds. So that's a remedy for that one, so that can help. Okay, number three, brushing your teeth at the sink. You wouldn't think that would be hazardous and dangerous, would you? But it is. Why? Because we're at what I call it the ambush point. From upright to about 30 degrees of forward flexion, so bending forwards in plain English. You're leaning forwards, you're standing there, you're brushing your teeth at the sink, rinsing your mouth out, back's gone. What's happened there? You've been held in a forward flex position for long enough that it's causing shearing forces and compression through one of your discs. And invariably it's a disc, the disc material gets stretched, gets pulled, maybe slightly torn. Again, you've got back pain, you've got problems. Sometimes it's a deep ligament that's strained as well, but often it's one of these guys, the discs. What's a remedy for that? Stay nice and upright when you're brushing your teeth. When you go to rinse out, put your hand on the edge of the sink and then lean your weight onto your hand, and then you can rinse. And that way you're not putting strain on your back. So another common cause of pain and a simple remedy for it. Okay, number four, this is a good one. Holding your nose when you sneeze. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Why can people damage their backs holding their noses when they sneeze? When we sneeze, what happens is there's a momentary increase in pressure in our spinal canal. We call it intrathecal pressure, but don't worry about the technical name. The bottom line is that you end up with a sudden rush of pressure in your spine, and if you've got a disc that's, let's say, not in great health, there's a momentary expansion of pressure on that disc, and then boom, your back can go. So what's the remedy? It's not pleasant, a little bit antisocial perhaps, but sneeze into your elbow, or if you're on your own, it doesn't matter, you just let the air out of your mouth instead. So instead of thinking, oh, I must hold my nose, just let the air expel out of your mouth. So another cause and another remedy for you. Okay, where are we now? So number five, supermarket trolleys. We've all been there. The damn thing wants to go where it wants to go, and you're wrestling with it. Now, number one, if you feel as soon as you get that trolley it's got a dodgy wheel, put it back, get another one. Why? Because if you're already struggling with it now, by the time you've added a few kilos of weight, you're having to now force this thing around the supermarket. It wants to go off there and you want to go this way. So ditch it, get one that's got nice smooth wheels. Now, another technique, when you're using the supermarket trolley, use it as core training. It's really useful, much better than trying to do sit-ups or something. You just hold onto the handle, brace your tummy muscles, pull them in, and then as you're turning this trolley around, you're steering it from here. So all the movement's happening together, your feet, your upper body and your arms. What you're not doing is keeping your feet still and then going, and then trying to pull the trolley around. That's a great way to ruin your back. The other thing with supermarket trolleys is if you're very tall, they're an issue because you've got to get your goods into it over the side and they're quite deep. And if you're less tall, you're then having to reach over the side of it. So whichever way you go, strain on the back. So what I recommend, it's a bit laborious, but I tell you, a broken back is considerably worse. So take your goods, hold on to the supermarket trolley, and then just put the things in slowly. Now, as you can see, I'm doing this, keeping the back nice and straight. Not rounding the back, which is going to end up causing problems. Okay. Number 7, carrying heavy items badly. So, for example, let me just pick this up. It's not particularly heavy, but it works as a demonstration. So you're carrying things out here. So much load on your back. Get it in nice and close, hug it, keep it here, yeah? So when you're moving around, yeah, you've got it nice and close. When you go to put it down, let it slide down you, okay? So just gently bend your legs, let it slide down. What we tend to do is we reach forwards, ambush point, right there. That's where it's gonna get you. As soon as this goes out here, big trouble. Keep it nice and close, let it slide down, bend your legs, pop it down slowly. Same thing in reverse, when you pick it up, get it in nice and close, use the power in your thighs, lift it up. Okay, so bad carrying and lifting in general. So we've got a heavy bag and it's doing this, and then we're trying to pull ourselves against it. So there is an exercise, it's a core exercise, and it's called a farmer's carry or a suitcase carry. So if you've only got one bag, keep it nice and close to you, pull these muscles in, don't have it out here, keep it nice and close to you, walk confident and slowly and steadily, and pull those abdominal muscles in. That's going to stop you from being dragged to one side, because if you do this enough, it's going to put so much strain through here, something's going to give. Ideally, where possible, distribute the load, 2 bags, nice and close to you. You can even put a little bit of bend in the elbow there, and you can start to strengthen your arms a little bit. But the key thing is keep it nice and close. If it's one-sided, if you've got 2, again, keep it nice and close. When we pick things up, we should be using the engine room, okay? So that's our thighs, our buttocks, the mid-back and the upper back. That's where the power is, okay? Here, if we're pulling from here, disaster. Sooner rather than later, we're going to have problems, okay? So carrying and lifting stuff, very, very important. Right, kids' car seats, they're an ambush point as well. Anybody that's, had to wrestle with one of those things knows the seat itself is heavy. Pop the child in there, it's got a lot heavier. And now what are we doing? We're going side onto the car and we're putting it in there. Dangerous business. So where possible, put the seat in first and then help the child into the seat, okay, and strap them in. What we tend to do is we're reaching over, so get everything as close to you as you can. Try and keep everything as near to you, because again, it's this, being mindful of anything that's doing this. So it can be a cot, it can be a car seat, it can be lifting something, it can be a supermarket trolley. This, as I say, this is the ambush point, so look after this, okay? And then last one, number 10, this one's a little bit more unexpected. Constipation. Constipation, what's that got to do with back pain, you're thinking? If you're constipated, you're going to be bearing down very hard. You're going to be putting a lot of pressure through your spine and through your discs to have a bowel movement. And as a consequence of that, eventually something's going to give. And it's nearly always a disc. And disc material tears. You're trying to have a bowel movement and your back has gone. Basically, it's got, when it says gone, it has gone into spasm, it's gone into protective mode, it's torn, it's inflamed, okay? So lots of bad things happening there. So simple remedy for that, stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. Your discs, your spinal discs, these things here, they should be about 80% fluid. They do degenerate to a degree as we get older, but we do want fluid in there, very important for how they function. So high fibre diet and plenty of water and movement, exercise, very important because that gets your circulation going and it helps with what we call gut motility. And gut motility is to do with really the nervous system within the gut's ability to push the material through it. So there we are, 10 common ways to injure your back, and you've now got remedies for all of those 10 things. So if you do those, you're greatly increasing the likelihood of staying out of our clinic. Okay, thanks for watching.